All right, it's time for another week of Just Hanging with the Nosebleed Seats. I'm Jared Sandler, joined by the men of the Nosebleed Seats, Eric Chiafalo and Zach Wolchuk. Guys, we had a fun conversation last week about food and sports, and I think we need to finish it. We said
Wolchuk fart?
What's that?
Sounded like there was a fart that came from Wolchuk's recliner.
No, that definitely wasn't me, but I appreciate you trying to project your own fart on me. What's new?
Man, we're off to a great start. You know, you guys, this
always
always
happens.
Well,
You're
hold on.
back killer, Jared.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's great. You know, me and my wife, Blake. This happens when you guys aren't doing shows together. You guys come on here and you're very feisty with one another. Not me, but with one another. So can we just hug and kiss and maybe give each other a massage here?
Never. I can't stand that bleep hole. Look at him. He's got a mask half on. I don't even know what the hell he's trying to do right now.
Hey, listen, if you're getting a massage from me, I was trained by the orchids of Asia, so just be prepared.
All right. Well, I've heard that Zach does enjoy those sorts of places. So
Heard? Who told you this?
I can't reveal my sources.
I'm sorry, Wolchuk.
Come on. I can't trust you with anything these days.
Things got out of hand. There was booze involved, and Robert Kraft was there.
He bribed you. And then there was some deflated balls or something that were part of it. So
those were Jared's.
What's that?
The deflated balls were yours, just for the record.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said they were Jews, and I thought, hold on a second, do we have a Deshaun Jackson situation on our hands?
Oh, okay. So we left off at this question of the food survey. Have you ever eaten at an athlete-owned or related restaurant? And I think the answer for all of us is yes. I can think of a few offhand. Aikman's at Texas Live, Pudge's Pizza at Texas Live. I've been to Eddie George's in Columbus, Jerome Bettis's restaurant in Pittsburgh, and then Bart Starr and Brett Favre's restaurants in Green Bay.
I don't think so. I think the answer would be no for me. I haven't gone to Troy or Pudge's restaurant in Texas Live, which I should. I'm sure that I will hit up at some point, but I can't think of one off the top of my head that I've hit up personally. I don't believe I have.
That's a shock. I would have bet that you for sure have.
Maybe I have, and I just wasn't aware, but I really can't think of one, and now I'm very disappointed in myself. I'm going to have to go change this.
I'm disappointed in you as well, Wolchuk, though I am sitting in the same spot as you because I have been to Pudge's Pizza. I've been to Troy's,
okay,
but
I've walked inside. I just haven't ordered any food, Eric. Okay, come on.
Yeah, I haven't ordered any food there. I'll tell you the one that I hear is really, really good. Isn't it doesn't Torrey Hunter have a barbecue restaurant?
Yeah. Tender Smokehouse. That's very good.
Okay, so it looks like Jared's been around the block. I mean, Jared's schmoozing and boozing with all the athletes, man. It sounds like we need to just start hanging out with Jared more.
Okay, so I did go to one Stone Cold Creamery that was owned, and it was currently at the time. It's no longer owned by Deion Sanders, but at the time it was. I don't know if that counts.
Shocker. Deion not following through on something. What a shock. Yeah.
I see.
So some of the other ones that, you know, they mentioned Boog's Barbecue at Camden Yards, named after Boog Powell there. And that's really the only ones that they mentioned. They didn't do a really good job of listing some of the ones across the country. If Dirk owned a restaurant, would we go there every day or just every other day?
We'd go probably every other day because I couldn't afford every day unless it's just they have a dollar menu, which I highly doubt Dirk would do. But I
think Dirk's all about the people. I think it's rude of you to suggest that he's not.
Yeah, but you've got to make money at some point, and I think Dirk is too good to necessarily have a dollar menu. But if he did, heck, I'd be there every day.
What food would Dirk Nowitzki be serving at his hypothetical restaurant that I imagine him actually bussing the tables? I imagine him at the cash register. Just like you said, Jared, he's a man of the people. He's going to be directly involved. If you spill your drink, here comes Dirk with the cleanup crew. But what food is he presenting on the menu?
Wiener Schnitzel.
You know,
Yeah.
I think
No,
he's
you
going
win.
to have a German section, but I don't think it's going to be a total German menu. I think he's going to, again, I think Dirk's a man of the people, and I think he's going to cater to the people.
Okay, so you know how he's famous for bringing in his own little plates of food.
Oh, the Dirk plates.
The Dirk plates.
Yes.
That's what he's is the Dirk plates. Whatever he was eating throughout the years on those Dirk plates is what he should be serving up. I think that'd be really cool.
Zach, did you ever go to
Dirk plate too?
Did you ever go to Nick's cards and sports cards and collectibles?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
you could go in like for $1, you get a grab bag, and like they're mostly crap cards, but maybe like 1 out of every 50 has like a valuable card.
Yeah.
So like there should be like on Dirk's menu like the Dirk plate, and you just don't know what it's going to be, and you pay a lesser price, and it's just whatever Dirk brought to the game that day or to work that day, like whatever it is, like that's the meal. It's like the special of the day.
And that could be how we can go every day because that's the affordable option. I just go and get the Dirk plate every day. I think that we figure this out. Dirk, let's get into business, baby.
It's the Dirk mystery plate, dude. Yeah, that sounds like the thing about that is you're going to get something delicious, but there's also some level of anticipation and excitement. You're almost on the edge of your seat a little bit when he hands you that paper plate and you peel that foil off of it and you're like, oh my God, this is Dirk's leftovers from last night. That would be the most delicious thing I've ever eaten.
And, Eric brings up a great point. There are two sorts of feelings. I mean, there's more, but there's two like really exciting feelings when you go to a restaurant. There's the feeling of, you order a certain dish at this restaurant and you love it and you get the chance to eat it that night. Like you're going back and you know what you're getting. There's that excitement. But then there's also the excitement of, I tend to like this order, but I've never had it at this restaurant, or the menu description was really good, but you've never had it. And it's like, I don't know what I'm getting. And so for the 10, 15, hopefully not 20 minutes, you're waiting for your meal. You're bubbling with excitement while you're munching on some appetizers, just wondering what the real thing's going to look like.
Have you ever done that where you went to a restaurant, maybe you're undecided, and you just tell the waiter, hey, surprise me? And you don't know what you're getting, but when it comes, you're excited.
I mean, usually when the food comes, I'm excited, but I'll tell you, I've never blindly done it. I have said, I'm choosing between this and this, you pick. I don't care.
Right.
But I've never said like the world is your oyster, just pick whatever you want.
Yeah, that is a level of spontaneity that I don't know that I will ever graduate to. Like that is like telling the waiter to quote unquote surprise me. That I don't know, and to be honest, I don't know that I've ever been around someone who's ever done that. Like, you get the waiter's opinion. Hey, what do you think about this? I'm looking at this and this. What would you go with? Walchuk's raising his hand as someone who has gone to a dining experience and just said, you know what? I'm going to leave it up to you, young lady, young man, who I've never met or seen or has any idea what my particular preferences are. Surprise me, Walchuk. Are you serious?
No. That's not the case. So they'll ask, they'll say, hey, what do you like? And what don't you like? So I laid that out there, but I went to this fine sushi establishment, and I'm just overwhelmed. I don't know what the heck to do. Half the menu's in Japanese, and the waiter seemed very knowledgeable. He knew what was going on. So I just said, all right, here's some of the things we like. Here's some of the things we don't like. Just bring us some stuff. He did, and it was absolutely fantastic.
I will say with sushi, I'm not very picky, and if I'm with a group, I'll just say, you guys order, because a lot of times with sushi, you're going to get stuff at the table, right? Sometimes it's individual orders, but I'll just say, hey, you guys get what you want, and I trust you guys. Just make sure we get enough, but that's the one food group. I think that when next time we go eat, we should do that, though. Not sushi. We just, all right, like waiter Steve or waitress Susan, you can look at Zach, look at Eric, look at me, look us up and down, get a sense of what you think we might like, and you bring out 3 dishes. And like we can request, no, but here's the rule. You can request, like, I'll say, listen, just whatever it is, like no pickles. I don't want any pickles. Like you could say, like, that way we don't totally like get stuck with something that just is, we won't eat. But like other than that, you pick.
Yeah, I would just say no black olives. By the way, this is something I've often thought about, and I feel like this is the perfect place to present it. Why doesn't Texas Ranger Shinshu Chu have his own sushi restaurant called Shinshu Sushi?
Well, okay. First of all, you can't even pronounce his name. That's probably one reason.
Right. Yeah, that was part of it.
Yeah, let him try and say Don Makawatsu.
Wakamatsu?
Wakamatsu?
Wakamatsu is the Passover version.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know. I will tell you, if you guys don't mind me sharing a quick Shin-Soo Choo story.
Yeah.
Shin-Soo Choo is one of the sweetest human beings ever. And after the season, two or 3 years ago, I get a text from him. Let's go get lunch. And so I drive to South Lake, where, it's where he lives. And we go to this very nondescript sushi place. And he's like, what do you like? And I was like, I was not going to say what I just Choo, you pick.
California.
So he ends up ordering 90% of the menu. And it's he's whatever. And then 3 minutes in, I get a call from Emily, who is my fiance at the time, not wife. And I don't answer. She knew I was at lunch, and then she called me again, and then she called me again. And so that's the bat signal, something's wrong. And it turns out she got into a horrible accident by Willow Bend Mall. And so Chu could see the look on my face when I actually answered the phone. And I felt bad because he had just ordered the whole menu 5 minutes ago. And I was like, I got to go. And he was totally cool. He probably sat there. I don't know if he ended up eating or not. But then this is the reason why I wanted to share it. This is not, I went to lunch with Chu. So I get a call later that day from Chu checking in on Emily. Okay. I get a call the next day from Chu checking in on Emily. I get a call a week later from Chu checking in on Emily. And it's just that will always stick with me. He is, and I feel like I'm the president of the Shin-Soo Choo fan club. If you look at my Twitter, I tweet a lot, but I've had a lot of tweets the last 12 months. Hey, let's not forget how good this guy's been, especially because this could be his last year. Anyway, I hope Rangers fans love the heck out of this guy because he has really been awesome on the field. And he is probably the foremost leader in that clubhouse and has been the last couple of years. And he's just a sweetheart of a human being. Anyway.
That's awesome.
So
what a story, man. Gosh, that's cool. Now I loved him, but now I think I might be in love with him.
It's just it's literally he took the time. He didn't have to. He had never met my wife at the time. But it's just, I don't know. That was really cool. He's a really thoughtful guy.
Now I can't stop thinking about Chu with an entire table full of 90%.
Yeah.
And he's just all right, just digs in.
He's just whatever. All right. So here's one. Have you ever approached an athlete or coach for an autograph while he or she is eating? I will tell you that there are a lot of liars with this because 96% of people said no. And while I understand it's etiquette, there is no way. I've seen it way too much. There's no way 96% of people abide by that etiquette.
I couldn't agree with you more. There are a lot of jerks out there. I'm just way too shy to, even if they're not eating. I'm one of those people that is probably just too shy to go up and say anything. I'll just kind of from afar be like, oh, my God, look, there's Darren Woodson, and I just won't even go up and ask him for an autograph or say hello. It's just cool, I got to see X player at whatever place it was. But no, I'm not, especially when it's rude. It's very rude to do that, but I'm also just way too, I guess in that regard, I'm a little introverted to where I just don't have the cojones to necessarily go up and do it, unless it's a platform where they're just signing autographs. When I went to Cowboys training camp as a kid, and after practice, they're just doing it, and you try and get some autographs. That's a little different. But in a social setting, unless the opportunity, if the opportunity just presents itself organically, I'm not going out of my way to bother that person.
Yeah, I kind of lean the same, Walter. Now, I've never had the opportunity. I've never been in a restaurant. Actually, now that I say
there's
that,
no way that's true.
I take it back because I did go to Lolo's Chicken and Waffles in South Lake, as you mentioned, South Lake. It was probably 2 years ago, and it's because it was this guy that I just had no interest, but it was former NBA player Jermaine O'Neal. and he had like 12 people with him, and they were all sitting down enjoying some chicken and waffles. And I noticed it. I acknowledged it. I mentioned it to my buddy, but I didn't go over there and say anything to him. Now, if Jermaine O'Neal was actually Shaquille O'Neal in that moment, I probably would have gotten up and done a little something.
What if he was Royce O'Neal?
Oh my God, I'm not even sure who Royce O'Neal is.
Oh man, Zero's not gonna like you. Utah Jazz backup big man Royce O'Neal.
Zero's pissed.
Yes. I would have gotten a picture and an autograph specifically for Zero in that case.
So a couple things. One, I'm at the age now where like I guess an autograph is cool. I just more like to shake the person's hand and like, hey, just have like a conversation. To me, a conversation's more valuable than an autograph. But like if it was an autograph pursuit, I will say this. I don't know. I can't definitively say that when I was 6 years old and like, I mean, I don't know if I was cute, but like fall into the category of cute little kid, I didn't do it. But like, I think that's also more like forgivable than like you're an adult or a grown kid doing it. But I think that it is okay if you can see that they're done eating and they're just sitting there waiting, like they've paid the check and they're just, that 2-minute window where maybe you haven't gotten up. I would say like when I have kids, if I'm in a restaurant and their favorite athlete, like if it's just some like back of the, end of the
Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, like maybe it's not worth it. Maybe wait for me to get up. But let's just say their Dirk is at a restaurant and you never get, and they're giddy, they're excited, dad, whatever. I would wait and I'd give them the green light when I could tell they were done eating. Maybe. And it also depends too, like, do you feel like you've got a path to get to them when they get up, or when they get up, are you just going to be SOL? You know what I mean? I think it's like a nuanced conversation, but like they're mid-meal, like forking it in their mouth. Like, yeah, that's a no-go.
I also do feel like you can get away with more with kids.
Yeah.
Like if it's a kid asking for the autograph, there's not as much judgment passed as if it's, my fat ass going over there and saying mid-meal, hey, big fan. Well, what do you say? Can I get your autograph? Will you sign my ad?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my kid as a runner. I'm gonna be like, hey, honey, you don't realize who that is, but I want you to go and just fawn over this guy, get the autograph for daddy, please.
Yeah. Maya runs over there. Oh, my dad's a big fan. It's like, hey.
and he's just in there waving. You're like,
oh, she's so cute. Tell your dad hi.
All right. So there's a question: are you good at beer pong? There's no sense in having that discussion because all that's going to do is turn into a what fight. We're gonna chance there. Everyone thinks they're good at beer pong.
Best. He probably is the best. I'm not going to fight with Jared on that.
Jared, you do have to mention the fact that you have had a celebrity beer pong encounter.
Oh, very.
Oh, you're right, Alex Morgan, and I got my ass kicked. It was me. And I want to say my buddy Chad Christ, who was a baseball player at Cal. I was up there visiting. I had a few buddies at Cal, and I don't remember if I told this story on this program, but the baseball. I don't know. It worked out this way at USC, where like the baseball team and the girls soccer team are like really good friends. They match well. I don't know why. And
wow.
So there was a party at the baseball house, and
fortunate happenstance there, huh?
Yeah. And we were playing beer pong, and I just like it was these two girls, or it might have been, I think it was two girls. No, it was a girl and a guy, but there were a lot of girls around and a lot of guys around. We're all hanging out, and I just knew this girl as Alex. Like she was really good looking, but I was like, all right, Alex, I don't know that guy. Apparently she was a good soccer player, but I didn't know. And then like a couple years later, Alex Morgan became a big deal, and they talked about her at Cal, and like it didn't click right away, but then I was like, wait a second, really? And I sent my buddy Chad a text. I was like, was that Alex Morgan? And he responded, yeah, remember she kicked our ass in beer pong. He was really good. Like she did not her partner did not carry that team. She carried that team. I remember.
We got a ringer, Alex Morgan, huh?
Yeah.
She gets hotter by the second, Jared.
Yeah. All right, here's a question. What's the most you'll pay for a stadium 16-ounce draft beer? So here are the options that were presented. I don't buy beer at games, which is not a bad strategy at all. $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, or I'll pretty much pay anything they asked for, which ended up winning the vote at 37%. And you're kind of a slave to whatever price they're paying if you want to drink at a stadium. But I think the strategy is tailgate, get some in you to where you only need one or two when the game's actually in session. That way you're not having to, get one a quarter and then all of a sudden you're down $60 just from beer.
No doubt. I'm with you. I'm all about the pregame. I'll actually even go to like the Jack Daniels Club at the AAC, or you can find various bars at AT&T Stadium. I'm a liquor guy, and if I'm going to pay that much, I'm just going to go ahead and get the liquor. But I don't drink a lot of beer at the stadiums. If I did, though, I probably am a slave to whatever they're charging. I think that's the logical answer. If you're going to get a beer, you're going to end up just paying what there is. I'd like to say $8, anything more than $8. I'm kind of thinking, wow, really bleep you. But you're probably just going to go ahead and fork it up, especially if you're on a date or something. You don't want to embarrass yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would. I'm usually I'm one beer away every time I walk into a stadium or a ballpark or an arena, in which case I'm willing to spend whatever it takes because I know I'm only buying the one. The tailgate, the pregame is 100% what I'm about. Even before I go out at night, if I was going to go out to Uptown, I would pregame heavy with the boys at the apartment or whatever before we go. And then I'm like, I'm probably just going to buy like one drink the whole rest of the night.
Did you pregame before your wife gave birth?
Oh,
Sadly, no, because it was like a 5 a.m. wake-up call with her just howling from the bathroom saying, get a hold of the midwife. I need her here now.
Oh, wow. Demanding.
Yeah. No, I was like, really, honey? You're going to bring an attitude with you today?
Sleep. Here's one. This is not a poll question or a part of the survey, but, I think when you go to events with your friends, it's just easier sometimes, like, I'm going to get this round, you get the next round, whatever. But, like, I tend to think that over time it'll even out, and it never does even out equally. Like, maybe I end up spending a little more than Zach, who ends up spending a little more than Eric. But, like, the spirit of, what we're doing is there. I've got a buddy who literally will, on his phone, keep track. So, like, let's say we go to a game today, he'll keep track. And then the next game, 2 months later, he'll pull up his little note and be like, I got this round. And, like, I don't want to call him on it. I've given him a hard time, but, like, I get what he's doing, but, like, that's a no-go, right? Like, I could never bring myself to do that.
It's a no-go for me, but if you're the guy in the group that's willing to keep up with it and we can really make this thing even here and you got your Excel spreadsheets and you're keeping track of it, then that's totally fine. But if it's always ends up being my turn, and I think that you're just scamming me here, then we have a problem. But I will never be the guy. I will never be the guy that is keeping track of that. I'm cheap, but I'm not that cheap.
Well, Zach's definitely the guy who, when, like, the guys are going to go get around, he's like, yeah, no, this is great. And then he'll be the last one to the bar so that he's not the one who pays. Like, I can definitely see Zach being that guy.
Yeah. Walchuk always has to use the bathroom right before the fellas hit the bar.
Hey, give me like a double shot.
Yeah, guys, I'll be right there.
Guys, go ahead. I'll meet you.
Sorry, shoot. I lost my wallet. I mean, what the hell happened here? Yep, that's me.
Hey, I will say Venmo is the greatest thing because there have been times, not often, I'd say bless you, once a year, maybe I'm going to lunch with someone and it's not like a really good friend and I want to pay, but, like, I left my wallet at home accidentally in haste, and I can just tell them, hey, I'm paying you. Or you don't even say anything. You just Venmo them after. But, like, that is – like, that way okay, he wasn't trying to, like, scheme me for a free meal. It's like I legitimately don't have it, but, hey, I've got this great app, and I can pay you for it. All right, here's the last one, a part of this survey, and if we have time, we'll get into the NFL Stadium ones. If your friend invites you over to watch the game and eat pizza, do you make sure you have a say in the toppings? 59% said no.
What? Of course. Well, I guess maybe 59% of people are just willing to have anything on their pizza. But I refuse to go to your pizza, watch party and eat pineapple or black olives on the pizza.
Oh,
Okay.
you need the pineapple on the pizza, Eric. Come on.
So here, I think there's an important question here. If you're chipping in, then I absolutely think you've got free reign to be like, hey, just do me a favor. Like, can you have at least one of these? If you're not paying, I think you can say, hey, is there a way, like, I don't like black olives. But like,
Sure.
here's the thing. If it's a 2-person thing, like if I'm inviting Eric over, I think I'm rude if I don't ask Eric, hey, I'm getting this. Are you okay with that? Or you want me to get something different? And then I'd say if it's multiple people and you're getting multiple pizzas, at least for me, because I'm not super picky, chances are one of the pizzas will be fine for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I would always ask, if I'm inviting the person over, I'd say, hey, is there anything you want on it, or is there anything you don't want on it? But overall, I am not a picky pizza person. As long as there's no anchovies on there, I'm okay. If there's something on there like black olives that they do put on, I can always just go ahead and pick it off. It's not the end of the world. I can eat around it. But yeah, I think the polite thing to do is always just ask, have that interaction. And fortunately, I think if it's somebody that you're good friends with, you already kind of know, what they like or what they don't like. And you can't go wrong with a cheese pizza. I think always, especially if you're having people over, just get a base cheese. Get a base cheese pizza, and then maybe you can get a second pizza with whatever craziness you want on there. But everybody can at least eat the basic cheese pizza.
See, that I just have to disagree with you there fundamentally. I think that the thing about the pizza and what makes it so great is it's open real estate for all these other fun things. Like, to me, you're leaving so much meat on the bone if you're only getting a cheese pizza. Like, why would I eat a cheese pizza?
Just like cheese.
Yeah. Well, hold on, Eric.
I just think
get
they're
what Zach's saying, though. I think what Zach's saying is if you're getting multiple pizzas, if one of them is just cheese, then you're going to be safe. But, like, I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, I don't think Zach's saying, like, all we're doing is cheese. I think he's saying,
no.
Let's have a default cheese, and then that gives us the license to do what you're saying and use the pizza as a vehicle to get other goodness on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loading my thing up. If I'm ordering my own personal pizza, I'm putting a bunch of goodies on there. But I do think you're always safe, especially if it's unknown. Maybe you're having a big Super Bowl party or a watch party, and there might be some tag-alongs that you're not really sure what they're into. You're always safe just having like one large cheese pizza at the party.
No, I guess you're 100% right there. Like, if you're having a big time group, it's not just a friend or two friends. If you're having a Super Bowl party, you got people coming over, maybe they're bringing plus ones, then it's like, okay, let's just throw in, hey, listen, we're getting 5-6 boxes of pizza. We'll just throw one of theirs cheese. Now I don't have to ask anybody because I know no matter what, the people who are super picky can at least eat the cheese. But if it was me, if it was my party, I would try to avoid the only cheese pizza whatsoever. I would do my best to reach out to the people that are coming and just find out specifically. That's just me, though, and I don't expect everybody to be like that.
I mean, unless you've got like a 3-person party, if you've got like 15 people coming over, doesn't that seem like way too much work to survey all 15 people on their cheese or their pizza desires and then try to like match it up and find the best like 5 combos?
Well, Eric would just order about 10 ultimate meat pizzas. All the just give
Eric,
all the meats.
Eric would call everyone up and write down, okay, you like olives, whatever. Okay, so what I'm hearing is you like olives, you don't want any meat, you like mushrooms. Okay, we're just gonna get all meats. All meats.
Yeah.
That's a compromise. All meats.
Yeah.
All the meats.
It's baffling to me that someone wouldn't like a pepperoni pizza. Like, if you like cheese pizza, how do you not like just even a simple pepperoni pizza?
What if you're kosher? What if you keep kosher, Eric? That's are you just shouting Hanson here or what?
You're isolating a lot of us out there.
Okay, as my 2 Jewish friends, how many friends off the top of your head do you know that are kosher?
So I'm not. Zach's not. I will tell you I do have a close friend who in his house keeps kosher, and that's kind of his wife's doing. And I'll also tell you that while Emily does not 100% by the book keep kosher, she does adhere to certain kosher principles. Like she doesn't have cheeseburgers. She just likes burgers. And I'm pretty sure that she'll do like mushrooms or veggies on her pizza, but she's not a big pepperoni pizza person.
Yeah, I do have some of my cousins are very religious and they will keep kosher in their home. My aunt has gone and tried it, or aunt a few times, but that didn't last very long. Bless her heart. So I don't know. There's not a lot that are 100% kosher, but similar to Jared, there are certain things like stay away from the ham. Like I know a lot of people that would not go with like the Canadian bacon, or like ham on the pizza. The ham is kind of the one that I think is very common to where, all right, we're not super kosher, but we don't need to have a honey baked ham.
But Eric, I'll tell you, for me, I'm not. So next time you invite me over for pizza, I'll do all the meats. If you want to write that.
Please no anchovies. Otherwise, I'm down.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Anchovies suck.
But it's disgusting. And my dad loves anchovies.
And
there have been times where I've come home and I'm like, oh, sweet, there's some leftover pizza. I'll take a bite and I want to throw up all over the place.
We got to tell Big Bob to get his ways right.
Oh, it's disgusting.
I've never met.
By the way,
I'm going to call him Big Bob.
He needs to get it together.
Yeah.
Just for the record, when it comes to my Super Bowl party, it looks as though Jared's wife, Emily, and Walchuk's cousins and that one aunt are just going to be not invited.
Well,
and
probably
the rest of us are just going to go nuts on the pepperoni.
Well, Jillian, who you've both met, is only a cheese person. Like, if I'm ever ordering pizza with Jillian, yeah, I know. I have to get extra cheese, extra sauce for Jillian. And then I pretty much just do whatever the heck I want to do.
Hey, but Eric, I'd also tell you that this seems like a crappy Super Bowl party if all you're getting is cheese and you're not providing us with any, like, snacks or other foods. Because I'll tell you that Emily's really good at finding, ways to fill up. But if you're just doing cheese, I'd say you're a pretty horrible host.
Yeah, what the hell? I want a chocolate fountain, Eric.
Yeah.
Hey, I never claimed to be a great host. All right, fellas, I didn't.
Just
can
a
I ask
willing
one?
host.
As long as I can get your mom's spaghetti and meatballs.
Not good host, but willing host. Quickly here, what's our crust? Like, what are we going crust-wise? Because I think that can be a point of contention as well. Some people like the thick, some people like the thin, some people want the deep dish. Like, where are we going with this?
I'm about it all.
Okay.
Sorry, does that mean you're not picky?
No, I'm
indifferent.
Any kind of crust, I'll shove that crust in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I do like. I'll be honest. I'm not as experienced with the stuffed crust. I've had it a few times. It's not like saying I'm going to go out of my way to get. But if you give me thin crust, I'll eat it. I do know there are people who are like, they're adamant it's got to be thin crust, and I'm not one of those people. I'm not really. I don't discriminate against the different crusts.
Yeah, I lean thin, but I'm with you. I could go any route there. I could go stuff, no stuff. I could go flavor. Like, I do love a nice little garlic sprinkle dinkle onto the crust as well. You get that flavor on the crust, but I'm with you. I'll eat any crust for pizza.
Okay, so we were gonna maybe get into stadiums. I think we table that to next week. We're gonna get back to sportsy next week, but we'll also give you an appetizer of NFL stadiums talk. But if you're hosting a party, like let's say you're hosting no more than 10 of your buddies, and they're gonna chip in like for the food, but you're the one who's in charge of like getting it all together. What are you getting? So like for me, I'm getting pizza. I'm making sure there are chips and dip. Obviously, you want to drinks. Have a nice collection there. Are you getting anything else? Are you getting like a fruit tray? Are you getting a cheese board? Like, what are the things that are important to you there?
I'm definitely getting queso. I'm going to get my Velveeta and Rotel. I'm making some queso. I will have the chips and salsa as well. Maybe even get a little bit of French onion dip, get some chips to have with that. I'm a big fan of that. I wouldn't just do pizza. I would also do wings. I would do pizza and wings. And if I'm not doing pizza, then I would do the like cookout kind of deal, like dogs and burgers type thing. So it would be kind of one or the other. Otherwise, The only other thing, I don't really care about the veggie trays. Jared, I know you're a big veggie tray person, most likely.
Well, I know most likely.
Well, good, because you said, "Hey, I'm not going to eat the wings. I'm going to eat the bleeping celery and carrots, dude."
I like
So
it.
I'm putting two and two together.
If you're gonna miss me with this trash buffalo sauce and not go creative, then you know what I'm gonna do with celery and carrots.
Okay, well, I would ask Jared, "Hey, I'm ordering wings. What kind of flavor do you want?" Because I'm going to pass on the veggie tray, and then I'll probably have some kind of dessert, whether it's like cookies or some cupcakes or whatever it is, but just like an easy finger food deal.
What about maybe like a hair pie, Walchuk, as a dessert?
Blue waffles are preferred.
So I think I co-sign everything Walchuk said there. All the dips are extremely important. The wings, I'm going with the wings and pizza. I'm trying to think what else really needs to be involved. I think all of that there. I would go guacamole as one of the dips. Maybe I get crazy and go spinach artichoke. But those are sort of the main. Those are the main points there.
Are you responsible? Do you feel like you need to also provide a dessert option at some point?
Yes.
I would say yes. So like if it's my house party, everybody's pitching in, and this is Super Bowl. This is Super Bowl Sunday. This matters. Then I'm going appetizers. I'm going the pizza and the wings as the main dish, and then absolutely I'm going some level of cookies, brownies. Maybe it's an ice cream, or maybe it's a warm hair pie with some cold ice cream. That always goes down well.
All right, last question. You're making something homemade. Zach mentioned the queso. Is that like you got to make one thing that's homemade? What are you making?
It's probably the queso because I can't make anything else.
Ooh, yeah. I think it or the guacamole, or actually the salsa. I can actually make a pretty mean salsa, and that's extremely easy.
All right, there you go. Fellas, another week in the books. Back next week. It's a pleasure. Eric, can't wait for you to host us.
Yes, looking forward to it. And you know what? You can invite Emily.
Oh, thank you. But what about no Jillian? See ya. All right, That's not very nice.
Sorry.